Hey everyone, and welcome on into my beauty world. So we are going to do a look today and test out the new Rhode blush against the Hale blush. So just to start out, I'm going to use this Hale Cream Skin Toner. This is the Five Below version of the Rhode. Now again, I don't have the Rhode toner to compare, but I am just testing out this toner from Five Below, and honestly I really do like it so far. It feels nice. I haven't had any issues with drying out or anything like that, which is great. Okay, so I'm gonna blank out my lids with the MAC paint pot in Painterly. While that dries down a bit, we are going to put on my Redness Relief Gel. And then we're going to start off on the eyes. Now, for the eyes, I'm going to keep it kind of simple. We are going to play with the Danessa Myricks Lightwork 5 palette. I'm going to start out with my Details by Tati EX5 Fluffy Blending Brush. And we're just going to start out with my bronzer from the Deer palette last year. And we're going to put that in the outer corner and into the crease. And this is just going to give us a base to work the shimmers off of. Okay. And then in the Lightwork 5 palette, we're going to play with this red. We're going to play with the Whipped Powder Shifters. And we're going to go into, I think, these two colors. So we're going to start out with the red on the outer corner. Some on my lower down here. Clean that up a little. Okay. And then I think we're going to go in the shade Fearless, which is right next to it. And that kind of does tie in my sweater, the yellowish in my sweater, I think. I think it'll tie it in enough. And I think that looks really nice. I'm going to take whatever's left over on my EX5 and just run that back through the crease. Yeah, and I really like that. Okay, let's do the wings. We're going to use, again, the Quick Flick Wing Stamp. And now let's take the left. They're cousins. Let's try to maybe Yeah, we're gonna leave it. It'll just keep getting worse if I continue to try to fix it. Now, I did recently get some cleansing balms at TJ Maxx. So we are going to use the Clio Kill Lash today. But before I do that, so I can let my sunscreen sit in a bit, I'm going to do the Skinic 50A++++ sunscreen. Okay. Now I'm doing that before mascara because, like I said, I want it to sink in a bit. And we're going to take the Clio Kill Lash Superproof Mascara. Okay, I think that looks really nice. Now let's hope the cleansing balm I bought will take it off at the end of the night. Okay. So for the face, we are still testing out the Ciele Tint and Protect SPF 50. I have the shade Too Fair, so of course we're going to go in with this again today. I think what I'm going to do is pump some on the back of my hand. Try to get it as less messy as possible. Put my finger in it and paint it on. Now I haven't tried a sponge with this, but so far I'm liking the brush. I'm going to take the Danessa Pinnacle foundation brush and just buff that into the skin. I might tap it in. I do find I get a little bit more coverage if I tap it in versus buffing. Yeah, and guys, I've really been liking this. I think that looks really good. Okay, I am getting a breakout right here. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's being enhanced right now. Hopefully powder will help with that. Now, this was recently on sale for 50% off at Sephora. So I picked up the Fenty Cream Bronzer in the shade 02 Butter Biscuit. And now, guys, this has been something that has been on my wish list for Sephora. It's one of the original cream bronzers I ever put in my wish list. It's so far down in my wish list because it was literally one of the first. So I'm going to take my Lunar Beauty Dimension brush and we're going to tap in this and put this on. And right away, I think I like the shade. It's not too orange, which I love. You do always want to try to get into your hairline so that you can't see the stark difference of your bronzer versus your skin tone. Guys, I think that looks really good. Wow. I really like that. I don't think it's too orange at all. Just pat some down here. Okay, I really like that. All right, for blush, so we are going to start out, I think, with the Hale Dewy Flush in Macchiato Mood. And the shade that I got in the Rhode is the Sleepy Girl. So I think that these are going to be pretty close. So hopefully it won't look like I'm wearing two different blushes. So I'm going to use my Details by Tati EX2 brush. It's just almost like a domed brush. And we're going to top in to the Hale like this. And we're going to tap that on this side of the cheek. Now, I've tested this already, and this does go over powder, which is amazing. And it lasts all day, even without being set with a powder. And we're going to test these out. We're going to test this out side by side with the Rhode. And we're not going to powder them today. We might go over a little bit with the powder that I do after my concealer. But we're not going to do its own like powder blush on top. And now I'm going to get that off the brush here. And now we're going to take the Rhode in the shade Sleepy Girl and do the same thing and go on the other side. And thankfully, those colors look really similar. Now, I do get sometimes a little bit of patching right here. It's this side of my face. I have issues with my eye and my cheek patching sometimes. And honestly, those look really good. Okay. And then we are going to do my under eyes. I'm going to do a color corrector because we're going to use the Patrick Ta concealer. We are still testing it out. I'm also testing out the Huda Beauty color corrector. So we're going to use the Huda Beauty in the shade Cherry Light. We're just going to use a little angled brush here. And I do tend to find with the Patrick Ta, now this is only going to be my third time using it, but with the Patrick Ta, I do tend to like it with a color corrector a little better because it takes some building up to try to get rid of my darkness otherwise. And we're going to take the Patrick Ta Major Skin Soft Blur Brightening Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral 2. I'm going to take that with my Danessa concealer brush. And so far I am liking this concealer. For powder today, we're going to take the Bare Minerals powder. We're going to take my Nikki LaRose N14. I'm going to pat out the creasing here. And this is where I'm going to go just slightly over the blush, but not significantly. Down the nose and then around my smile lines. And the Patrick Ta does crease pretty quickly, but I find you can usually pat out the creases and set it. And look at how blurred that looks now, and then my spot doesn't look nearly as significant. Guys, that looks really good, I think. Okay, let's pounce with my blush over this a little bit just to blend these in. Or sorry, my sponge. That's better. Do I need to add more blush, you think? Let's see. I think we might have to add a little bit more of the Hale. So I cleaned off my brush. We're going to go back in with the Hale and just build it up a little bit, and I'll show you what it looks like over powder. Honestly, guys, it does beautiful over powder, which is crazy for a $5 blush. And just for giggles, let's clean off the brush and do a little bit of the Rhode over powder. That looks like it's working over powder as well. Which it should for $25, you know what I mean? Alright, guys. I think that looks really good. So now for the under eye. Well, let's pounce my sponge over this just to make sure. That looks better. Now for the under eyes, we're just going to do a mimic of the two shades. So I'm going to take the red shade and the shade Fierce. We're just going to use my pinky and put that on the outer of the lower lash line. And we're going to do the same with the other side. And then we're going to take the shade Fearless with my pinky again and do the inner. Perfect. Well, let's do a little bit more. good. I think that looks good. And then for highlight today, I'm going to take this new highlighting brush that I got. This is the Fenty highlighter brush. And I'm going to take the shade Rose Glow in the Gen Nude Highlighting Blush of Bare Minerals. We're just going to get this on the brush here. I think we're just going to sweep this over the blush. I think that's really pretty. So I guess we did kind of top this with a powder, but I was going to use it as a highlight, but it's a little bit deep for a highlight. So I did lie, and we did put a powder over the blush. I think that looks nice. Let's go a little down the nose. We're going to take some on my pinky and hit the inner corner. All right. Now let's do the eyebrows. We're just going to take the Super Lock Maybelline Super Lock Brow Gel in the shade Deep Brown and run that through the brows. Okay. And then I am going to do a finishing powder over the face just to try to stop my foundation from transferring. So we are going to take the Kosas Cloud Set in the shade Airy. We're going to take my Nikki LaRose N15. We're just going to get that on the N15 and sweep that over the face. This will also help marry everything together. Is it just me or did I lose some of the Rhode blush? Guys, where'd the Rhode go? Where'd the Rhode go? We're gonna take a little more of the Rhode because I feel like it disappeared on me. Okay, I mean, I think that looks okay. It's just, why did it disappear? All right, so I like that. I think that looks nice. Everything looks really looped in together and like married. Everything looks really, really good. Okay, I think I like that for the face. So for the lips, we are gonna do this new Summer Fridays Flushed Lip Stain in the shade Almond. I am so excited for this. So it's been sold out on Sephora literally since it launched. And I found it at my local Sephora at Kohl's yesterday, and they had a stock of every color. Now, I didn't swatch any other color because I have been wanting this brown. So, and I was afraid I would take home more. So this is really interesting. One's a little bit more flocked, and then one side's a little bit less flocked. So we are gonna paint this on the lips. Okay. That looks really good. That was really easy to apply. And I really like the tip of that. So I'm super excited for that. And we're gonna do I would love to do the Rhode lip tint dupe, but this lip will go perfect with this gloss stick from Revolution Beauty. And this is in the shade Toffee Nude. Now this seems like a Fenty dupe. I don't have the Fenty, but I am testing this out. It is very, very emollient. And I think that looks really good. All right, guys, what do you think? So this is the final face. I think that I am not going to set it because I want to see how the blushes do on their own. So, and the bronzer. So I don't think I'm going to set the face today with a setting powder. So let's take this down. I know my hair is kind of a mess. When is it not? And this is what the face is looking like. Can you tell that I have two different blushes on? I don't think you can. I really like the way this turned out. All right. Well, that is all I have for today. I will try to do a check-in at the end of the night to let you know how the blushes and the bronzer wore and just how the face is looking since we are still testing out all of this new makeup. Okay, hey everyone, welcome to the end of the night. So this has been on for a little over 12 hours, and this is how the makeup is looking. So this is the Rhode side. You can see first off the contour from Fenty is still there. I have a little bit of flaking from the mascara, but the Rhode blush is there, and the Five Below blush I think is also peeking through. Did lose some coverage here around the base, but that is typical as, you know, I rub against my shirt. For the eyes, you can see that the Patrick Ta concealer does crease. Even with setting powders that typically avoid creasing for me, they are still creasing. So just something to keep in mind. Overall, looks like I lost some coverage too. But the under eyes look good. They still look pretty blurred. They just have that crease. You can see my liner smudged, but really the mascara doesn't look to be smudging. So this is what the Rhode side looks like. And this is what the Five Below side looks like. I think the Five Below side is a little less dewy, but honestly, look at that They look nearly identical. They really do. So I think this is another situation that in reality you can save your coin. It might be a little less dewy on the face, but the longevity's there. It can go over powder. For $5, Five Below has your back. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you in my next one.